Hey guys, so I'm here to give you a bit of a channel update for October, and it's going to be an interesting first week back at work because even though basically I just had 3.5 hours orientation today, just like last year. Actually, I think last year went about almost 4 hours. But anyway, I had a short return today. It's going to be an interesting week to start off October, mostly tomorrow being the first. Mainly because the way they have this set up, and I think I mentioned this in the vlog that I did on my way to the bus stop at, across from Walmart. The way they have this set up is basically tomorrow, normally I would be at, at work tomorrow and everything. I would normally be there to, get my training in, finish any more CBTs and, stuff like that, what have you. But apparently that's not going to happen. And no, it's not because, they, decided, oh, we overhired and we need to cut people. No, it's mainly because of the fact that, according to what the girl said, the new HR girl, she's actually an HR girl that, as I mentioned in the vlog, got this job, I think, last year or something like that, like a little towards the end of my first run there. But anyway, and everything, just taking with something. There's a great cat that walked, right across the yard in the front, so I don't know if he was in the back. He has a habit of doing his business in the back. But anyway, like I was saying, she got this job, I think, just around the final month of my time there last season. And she told me basically that what they were doing essentially was splitting the trainings up, if you will. And what that means basically is she's going to do like one group tomorrow and then another group on Wednesday, which I'll be part of. Now, what's interesting about that too is, according to the thing, initially, because they gave you a paper showing showing you like when your shift first begins, it said 6 a.m. to 2:30. But according to the email I got from HR, that's not going to be the case. Instead, it's going to be 5 a.m. to 1:30. And that's kind of surprising. I'm thinking, did they make a mistake? And everything, but no. They haven't emailed me back saying, oh, we gave you the wrong time. It's actually 6 a.m. to 2:30. No. They said my training shift begins 5 a.m. to 1:30. And I don't know why that is. My assumption is because, I've been there before, so they're like, hey, let's just get him back on the floor, get him, readjusted, get him back into the rhythm, and get him doing some trailers and stuff. And I'm guessing that's what it is, but we'll see what the situation is on Wednesday. But what's interesting about it is I told my mom, and she's kind of reluctant at first, but she's kind of understanding now, like, and the reason she's understanding is because she's kind of getting fed up with people like my older sister and my middle sister kind of saying, hey, you can't be doing, this with Brian. You can't keep taking him every time in the morning. It's going to get to you. And I understand that. I completely do. I mean, like I said in my live stream going to work today, or going to my orientation back at work, she's getting older. She's 75. And, she's getting to a point to where even before, I started back here, she was, really worn down. Like her body just was like, running on fumes, basically. Mostly like towards the end of the first 2 weeks, if you will, first 2 full weeks, and the first 2 weeks and a half, I'll put it that way, because they didn't have the kids until like the day after Labor Day. But, I get where they're coming from. I understand that, but if she says she could still do it, if she could still push herself to do it, then she's going to do it. She's going to do it. Now, my sister did tell me to try to ask on Neighborhood Watch if there's anybody in Newman that works at Kohl's in Patterson, in the morning that could take me instead. And I decided through an anonymous post, because that's one thing Facebook lets you do on some of these group outlets, is they let you anonymously post, a message or thoughts so nobody knows who you are. And I told, and I said on the Neighborhood Watch, I asked if there's anyone out there that works at Kohl's during the morning, during the day. And if so, let me know, because I need a ride at 5 a.m. and I'll DM you who I am and all that. So that way it's just between me and whoever's going to, potentially take me. But if I don't get no answer, then it's just going to be my mom. And it is a little hard for her because she's got to get up between like 3:45 and 4, or, something like that, 3:30 and 4, something like that, along those lines, 3:45 and 4, if you will. And here's the thing about that. My sister needs to understand that, this is something that is it's not always going to be this way, because I've worked with them last year and I told them, I can't do overtime. I can't do this, 5 a.m. when you need it. I can only do 6 because of the situation. They understood. They were perfectly fine with that. They work with people. They have, a person that works with you or you can talk with that helps you out. Not just human resource, but also someone on the personal level, like kind of helps you and by extension your family. So, so she needs to understand that. But the way I look at it, she's got a lot going on herself. She's going back to Kansas over this weekend to check on my dad, which my mom and my sister, my middle sister that is, have, even I'm in agreement that you don't really need to do this yet. You could wait. Your great niece, the newest member of the family, your nephew's first daughter was born. You could probably hold off on this, but no, it's something else going on, and I don't know what it is. Sometimes, people suspect that she does this because of a lot of the situations personally that happens with the family, to where she's just like, I want to get away, and, Kansas is the excuse. But I don't know. But apparently she's going to go with her husband and, see what's going on. But yeah, she, I get, again, where she's coming from, I do. But, she's got to be more, as some people put it, she's got to be less assertive, if you know what I mean. She's got to be less assertive. She's got to be less controlling. She's just got to give her opinion. Like, look, in a way she should say, Mom, Brian, I don't think this is a good idea. Yes, it's your choice, but if I was you, I wouldn't do it. And I would try to encourage Brian, Mom, to find something closer, or encourage him to try to get his license. That's how she should approach it. She shouldn't approach it like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do. It's not how it works. And even my aunt at the baby shower a couple months ago even said that she kind of reminds her of our dad, because our dad was kind of like that, still technically is, but he was kind of like that, always wanting to make sure things got done, and whether you agreed with him or not, he wanted to see it done. So yeah, it's just one of those situations to where basically, long story short, my mom's got to prove my sister wrong once and for all, or once again. She's got to prove her wrong. And she's going to. I mean, if it doesn't bother her, as long as she gets plenty of rest, then so be it. So be it. I mean, if she falls asleep on this couch here, up until the time she's got to take me, so be it. As long as she's got rest, so be it. Don't be such a hard ass about it. If somebody feels like, hey, they can still go, even at their age, and believe me, there are people a lot older than my mom that can go a lot faster than she can, much to the surprise of even their families, then what's the issue? Huh? Does she want my mom basically to sit in this chair right there, sit in that chair right there, or sit in that rocking chair right there, which used to be my grandpa's, and just rock and go like every day, just go like, oh, I'm retired. Oh, what a life I had. You know, is that what she wants? Because it's not going to happen until God tells my mom, you know, enough is enough. And that's it. That's it. It will not stop until he says enough is enough. And, you know, that brings me to the channel update here. Basically, long story short, like I said, getting back on topic, on Wednesday, Wednesday, I go in Wednesday through Friday this week, 5 a.m. to 1:30. Now, again, that could have been a mistake on their part, and they meant 6 a.m. to 2:30, but again, they know me, they were happy to see me, you know, so it's like, they know that, hey, he might be the exception. We can get in here and get him right back right back to work right away. You know, so they know I'm the exception. You know, I'm the exception there maybe. But, you know, outside of Wednesday through Friday, as I was saying at the beginning, the way they got this worked out is tomorrow I'm going to be off. So what that does for me tomorrow is that opens the door for me to have one more day to do what I want to do, have a little freedom, and then, you know, get myself ready for the next day. And that's it. You know, that's it. You know, nothing more. So I'm going to make the most out of it. You know, I'm going to make the most out of it, you know, period. You know, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to work, you know, no matter what. I'm happy to have that opportunity. Yes, they have a Popeyes, you know, that they're building. I saw it. I saw the construction happening. You know, so yeah, that is a possibility. That is an avenue to cross when we cross it, if God doesn't say, hey, you're going to stay here permanently at Kohl's. Because that could happen too. You know, that could happen too. But yeah, the way this is going to affect me for a while, at least the next couple of months, is, as you've noticed, you know, as you saw, I did a live stream today. I did a live stream this morning. The way this is going to work out basically is the recording I did for the Sabrina review. You saw that. That's kind of what I'm going to do. You heard stuff in the background when I did that, right? The cars and everything. That's kind of what it's going to be like when I get dropped off at the park, you know, or dropped off at the bus stop across from Walmart to catch the bus. That's how it's going to be, you know, sort of like that. Or I walk down to that bus stop. But that's kind of how it's going to be. Long story short, that's how it's going to be. But yeah, you know, I'm going to do stuff like that. So you're going to get recordings of stuff to where when I come home, I'm going to upload it, you know, to my computer, and I'm going to create a video out of it. And that's a podcast eventually maybe as well. I'm also going to download, if I don't have time to do that, I'm going to download, like I did today, the Power Director mobile site, or mobile app, the Cyber Power Director mobile app, and do it like that. So that way I have something to work on, you know, even at break or lunch or whatever. So those are all opportunities that, you know, are going to be, you know, happening, you know, even with the work. So at least when I come home or I'm on the road, I can give you guys some content to enjoy, you know, for the time being, even if it's 1 or 2 videos, or in this case 3, maybe 4. So, you know, so yeah, that's what's going to happen there. And sometimes some of the uploads might be just up conversions of some old videos and stuff that maybe I'll combine together if they're in 2 parts and make into 1, so you can get the full scope without having to, you know, go through a playlist and just check them out like that. But yeah, the plan is essentially to go in that direction, to find a way to give you guys some content, you know, when the opportunity presents itself. And VTO, that's going to be a completely different story, because like I said, if they do it, they're going to let us know by email, I think I mentioned that in the other video on the way to the bus stop. If not, that's what was described to us today, that the VTO is going to be given by email for a bit because they're working on stuff and so on. But outside of that, it's going to be interesting, but I'll always find a way to give you guys some content and all that. And I appreciate you guys' support, no matter how it's done. I really, really do. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are, though. Just wanted to give you guys a bit of a vlog, channel update for October, which is starts tomorrow, October 2024, and let you know what's going to be happening now that I'm working again. And it's probably going to be the same up until they probably let us go, which normally would be like early mid December, but the way the girl made it sound like today could be January. So we'll see what happens. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Comment down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notification, click on the links in the description to find my content elsewhere here on the internet, as well as check out my Teespring store. Link will be there in the description as well. But guys, that's all I've got to say, and until next time, I am out.